How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now, South Africa, they've gone to Wales and they've completely burnt down the Principality. They've showed sheer dominance. That physicality was out of this world, and at points they just made it look far too easy. But as a caveat to that, every single Welshman that put on his shirt to play for his nation today deserves to be proud, because this was this was a very much a changed Wales side. This was nowhere near a full strength side, so you got to take it with a pinch of salt. The South African side they have born killers, even with it being a rotated squad. So I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Please like, subscribe. It really does help the channel grow, and let's get into it. So South Africa really dominated, and in my preview, I did say South Africa are going to come through with a try in the first 10 minutes, and then it's just going to go from there. By halftime, you're probably going to be around 20 points ahead, and we are going to be seeing a big game. I was kind of expecting it to be around the 50-60 point mark. Lo and behold, it was actually 73-0 by the end of the game, with Eben Etzebeth getting an absolutely ridiculous red card, which was disgusting. Eben deserves that red card 100%, no two ways about it. And what's gonna happen? What's the worst thing that can happen? He's gonna get a ban. He's gonna get fined. It's not the end of the world. The big games are out. You know, he's gonna miss a couple URC games more than likely, and that's it. So completely agree. Absolutely disgusting, but I am kind of expecting this from everybody around the world now. That's just going to add on to the thing of, oh, South Africa play dirty. This could have happened to anybody, and it does happen to a lot of other people. But because South Africa, they already kind of have this stigma attached to them that they are dirty, or that they like to hurt or injure people. I don't feel that's the case. It is a game of rugby. Tensions run high. As we saw at the end of the game, pretty much everything was turning into a scrap. And, you know, people were frustrated. The Welsh were frustrated. The South Africans, yeah, they were happy, but they were still frustrated. It's part of the game. But yeah, 100% agree. That should have been a red, and it was a red. So we'll see how that goes. But otherwise, I mean, Eben Etzebeth, he bagged himself a try just minutes before he ends up getting that red as well. So he's kind of like, look, I did my job. It is what it is. I'm going to go off and leave the boys for the last few minutes. But it was just dominance, guys. It was just dominance. I was kind of expecting Wales to get a try or two, but no, sheer dominance. And we'll take a look here. Sasha Feinberg. I think Andre Esterhuizen got the man of the match, which I completely agree with. The guy was an absolute monster. You just don't stop this human being. But otherwise, Sasha put in a stellar performance. Yes, he did miss a couple kicks. I think it was 11 tries, 9 conversions. But, you know, yes, we do still have a lot to improve. We were beating Wales to the collisions. We were dominant in the air. The Welsh actually did pretty well when it came down to the mauls. They held tight on the mauls, so that was very impressive by the Welsh. But otherwise, we had dominance from word go. Steenekamp, Hooker, Visa, and Mornay getting tries in the first half, leaving it 28-0 by half time, and then Wilco Louw to come through with a try first on in the second half, really setting the tone, really setting the tone for the second half. Just to see Sasha get 2 tries, Andre Esterhuizen and Kane Moody getting tries as well, Ruan Nokia, and then Eben Etzebeth on the 73rd minute. We had a lot of beautiful play. We showed just how dominant we are when it comes down to that physicality. We were brilliant in the air. We were brilliant through vast, parts of the game. The Welsh couldn't handle it, as we could see with the scrums. And like I was saying, it's the same thing over and over again. Nobody can meet South Africa for 80 minutes. There isn't a single team on planet Earth that can match South Africa for 80 minutes as a squad in terms of a 23. Nobody can match us, because by that 60th minute, your legs are going to be burning. You're not going to want to meet us at the scrums, which most teams don't want to be doing. And they are going to fall short, which is exactly what ended up happening here. But we did have a lot of dominance. Yes, it didn't help that Plumtree and Wainwright ended up getting themselves yellow as well. But yeah, we had a lot of dominance. We had a lot of dominance here. There's only so much that the Welsh could do, and like I said, you got to take it with a pinch of salt, because this isn't a full strength Wales side. You know, they're missing 13 players, so you know they put in a good performance. This is a world-beating South African side that even this squad would put the works on huge teams. You would, like, if you had to copy this into up against England or France or Italy or Argentina, Australia, the All Blacks, Scotland, this side would be giving them all a good hiding, well, or at least coming close to, to putting the works in them. So you got to take it with a pinch of salt, right? It is a 73-0 beating, but Wales are rebuilding, so I'm gonna give them. I am gonna give them that bit. Now there were quite a few bits that went on, and there were quite a few bits that I missed. This is my immediate reaction after the game, straight thoughts. I probably will come up with a more detailed breakdown once I've had a little bit more time to have this cook. But yeah, let's get into some stats because. Like I say, it was brilliant. Territory, as you see here, 58%. Possession, 59%. Scrums, 83. 7 scrums won. And then lineouts, 20 lineouts, 100%. 11 restarts, 91%. But here, look at this. Passes, 157 passes, 132 ball carries, and post-contact meters, 317. That shows just how hard we run with the ball, how difficult it is to stop us when we are coming at you. And this comes down to the likes of, your Andre Esterhuizens of the world, that they just power through, and it's so difficult just to keep them out. Look at this. 12 line breaks, and that comes down to our ball carrying skills. 12 line breaks, right? 9 turnovers won. Yes, we did lose a fair amount of turnovers, but look at this, penalties conceded, 16 compared to 9, which is actually quite kind of nice to see South Africa in the single digits again. And obviously we did get the red card, but you can see they were so good when it came down to their defensive work. 190 tackles made, comparing to South Africa's 90. They made 100 more tackles than us, and they did miss 15 more, but they did 100 more tackles than us. Yes, they worked very, very hard to stop us, but it's difficult. It is really, really difficult. And you see here by the tackles completed. When's the first time you see a South African name? The first time you see a South African name in terms of tackles completed was Athanati Ntlabakanye. Otherwise, Alex Mann put in a stellar performance. Ben Carter, Dewey Lake, Tame Plumtree, Aaron Wainwright, all of these guys getting into their double digits. Alex Mann getting 23 tackles himself. I mean, that is an achievement on its own. That really, really is an achievement on its own. But then we take a look into ball carries. Jasper Wiese, Damian Willemse, Ruan Nokia, Damian Dielende, Andre Esterhuizen, all double digits. The first time you see a Welsh name is Dewey Lake with 9. And then Sasha, Sia, Kwacha. So, yeah, this was very, very dominant. And like, just a quick summary here: 11 tries, 9 conversions, 132 carries, 12 line breaks, 18 turnovers lost, 9 turnovers won. And it was just an absolute, like, they just couldn't handle him. I mean, you take a look at your passes. Mornay, 50. Kobus, 28. Ruben Morgan Williams, 18. Then Sasha is 17. The quality that was shown here. Defenders beaten. Sasha with 5. Sasha with 5 himself, bagging himself a couple of tries. And this is what I'm saying about Sasha. He's proving to everybody and everybody around the world what kind of a generational talent that this guy is. Yes, it is Wales, but he's been doing this up against the biggest teams in the world. And he's shown it this year. So he's going to go back home. He's going to cook. He's going to get better. He's going to, really work on those fine little skills, become a little bit more consistent, because I think if we can get that extra 10% of consistency out of Sasha Feinberg, my word, we will have the best 10 in world rugby at his ripe old age of 21, 22 years old. So yeah, next level talent. Shows not only can he kick, he can run, he can score, he can fend. What can't this guy do? Like, seriously, what can't this guy do? It's absolutely monstrous. And then meters carried. Look at this. How many backs do we have here? Kanan Moody, Ethan Hooker, Sasha, Andre Esterhuizen, all with over 50 meters carried by themselves. Hard work. Ethan Hooker, another breakout season for Ethan Hooker. My word, what a performance that this guy's had. What an amazing year this guy's had. Absolutely phenomenal. And like I say, you can play him anywhere. You can play him at the 12, the 13, the 14, the 15, the 11. No matter where you want him around the backs, he can play there. And yeah, just absolute dominance. The first time you see a Welsh name was Joe Roberts at 9th. So, look, this was a beautiful game. And like I said, there's probably a couple bits that I am missing. But I would have loved to be in that stadium. So, guys, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Who was your man of the match? I believe it was Andre Esterhuizen. I completely agree with that. Some might say Sasha deserved it, but Andre, he just put in one of those performances that you just don't forget. So drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.